Yeah, we got the what?
I gotta go up there every year.
Well, at least you're a Packers fan, so they probably won't want to kill you. You'd hope. And hello there, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. It is the DOUG here, and it's time for division round picks. But before we get to that and recap last week in the news and everything, you know I'm not alone. Of course, we have the man who's tied in first place with me right now. It is the man called Dave.
What up?
Who were friends until Sunday night, and then we'll be friends after.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Of course, we have everyone's favorite giant fan, Rosie the Robot.
Ow.
Wow, she said, meow. Okay, that's a new one. Kitty goes meow. Fan. And then, of course, we have everyone's Paco fan who, rumor has it, he will be backing up Aaron Rodgers next year. It is Travis.
Yeah, and screw every 99.9% Cowboys fans.
Yeah, I'm that 0.1.
You are. I tried to congratulate them, and they just want to, be assholes, so screw all them. Except for you, Doug.
And thank you for that. Now, of course, before we continue, as many of you know, if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, I did not get to watch the game Monday. As many of you know, my grandfather passed away. But thank you to everyone on Facebook, Twitter, and my YouTube as well for giving them a thank you for putting us in your prayers and condolences. That does make my grandmother very happy and all that. So thank you so much. Just wanted to get that out of the way first.
The Cowboys won for him.
That's what a lot of my friends were saying.
It was like a Nick Cage match. It was like, yeah.
Understood. But let's go over recapping what happened last week, because that's what we do here before we get to the major news of the program. So first, Niners and Seahawks. That was the first playoff game we had last week. The Niners and Seahawks was actually closer in the first half, and actually stayed close even in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, Niners defense woke up and destroyed the Seahawks. What's interesting though, and I got to thank Dave for this, Geno Smith is a free agent.
Over here.
So he could be going to a new team. So Seattle may have to rebuild next year if they don't decide to keep Geno Smith. Personally, if I'm the Seahawks, keep Geno Smith. He works well in that offense. You don't have to worry about teaching a new quarterback. But Dave, congratulations to your Niners on beating the Seahawks. It was a good game too.
Oh, yeah, it really
good job,
was.
Dave.
It really was. Brock Purdy's getting there little by little, so
yep,
it's all good.
By the way, I believe if he wins this weekend, he'll be one of the he'll join a very small list of rookie quarterbacks who made it to the AFC or NFC championship. So we'll see what happens. Oh, after that, we had the Chargers and Jags. Which, well, I'm going to say this: Chargers, how do you blow a 20-point lead? Your choke job was so magnificent. The Atlanta Falcons said you are now the master of it. Kim Kardashian is taking lessons on choking from you guys.
Look at this.
So I don't get it. Your team was playing great. Your defense played great. And by the way, they are the first team in the playoffs history to get 5 turnovers and still lose. Remember, the defense was made. I think they picked off Mr. Sunshine 4 times, and they got it was disgusting. I was actually like, how the fuck is this team in here? Maybe we should have replaced him with somebody else. But to Jacksonville, I'll give you credit. You did make the comeback and win. You're all the Cadillac Cats this year. Congratulations. But there's one thing I want to say. To Bosa, which I believe Bosa's younger brother's on the team, correct?
No, Nick Bosa played from Joey Bosa, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, Mr. Bosa.
Yep.
You're one of the reasons, because everyone's blaming the head coach or, the quarterback. No, I want to blame Bosa here for his 2 penalties that kind of cost the Jags, cost the Chargers the game, okay? The first one, you were stupid. That was on you. I can't deny that. The second one, I get why he did. Yeah, I get why he did it, because I think it was the Jaguars player who was offsides, correct? And he threw his helmet off and everything because, the refs missed it.
Yep.
I get why you were mad about it. And I even agree with what you said in the post interview saying, oh, the refs are probably making fun of us because, they missed it and they threw the flag on me instead of calling the penalty on the Jags offense. Which if they would have, the touchdown would have not counted, which would have made things a little interesting. But that didn't happen. Now, a lot of Chargers fans are saying, "Oh, the refs screwed us." No, the refs did not screw you guys. Normally, I hate the refs. You guys know this. But Chargers, you should never even had to be that close to begin with a 20-point lead at halftime. That's a joke. That's a fucking joke. You need to blame your defense for not showing up in the second half, your offense for not playing great either. So blame both coaches. By the way, they fired the offensive coordinator and I think the quarterback coach the Chargers like a few days ago. So take that as you.
Did you hear his
playoffs
yes.
this week?
Yeah.
All right, Travis, what were you gonna say now?
And
Did you hear his post-game interview about his injured groin that he had?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
He kept saying his wife was rubbing his groin and making him feel better. I'm just like, why are you telling reporters this?
And guess what?
No,
Trevor
Bailey.
Lawrence throwing the feet out. Trevor Lawrence throwing the feet out on Saturday.
That is correct.
Right,
That
we'll
record
see
still
about this
holds.
Saturday.
We'll see about tomorrow.
I don't know. I don't know.
Moving on
It
to
could
the
happen,
third,
maybe.
Could happen. Moving on to the third game of the playoffs, we had these are the Sunday games. We had Bills and Dolphins. Bills won, but Dolphins made it a real game. I don't know if the Bills were overlooking them, or because the Dolphins play them already twice this year. You know, they knew the Bills playbook pretty well. Very good game though, and I got to give the Dolphins quarterback, rookie quarterback this. He played very well. Does make it interesting because they still said Tua is still the starting quarterback for next season. But let's be honest here. I don't know if that's going to happen because of all the concussions Tua have. His career may be done. But
Yo, can I say one thing about that game?
Go ahead.
The stupid coach, Mike McDaniel. How you not gonna call a timeout at 4th-1?
He was too busy. He was too busy vaping on the sideline.
Yeah, he's too busy
If
vaping,
you would have
man.
won 4, you probably would have. I still said Dolphins would have won that game if they did. If they won for 4th-1, they would have won. They would have won the game.
Oh yeah, easily.
But
Bills.
no.
I don't know why the Bills. Josh Allen played good. That was horrible.
And the interceptions, yeah.
Yeah, but with the interceptions, here's the thing. That's kind of like with Brett Favre in a way, and I think, Travis, you don't go on with this. Josh Allen's a gunslinger. He's going to throw it deep, so it's either going to be caught or intercepted. And some of those interceptions were not his fault. There was one receiver who stopped running at one point because he lost where the ball was, so that's going to get picked off no matter what. But Bills still won.
Stephon Diggs?
Yeah. But it was a good game.
Yeah.
Then the upset game. The game that me, Dave, and Rosie got right, the Giants beat fucking Kirk Cousins. So first off, Kirk Cousins, go fuck yourself. Kirk Cousins made history, by the way. He had more passing yards, actually had a better QB rating than Jones, but you still lost because for whatever reason, on 4th and 7, you threw a 3-yard pass.
You know why?
Because he sucks.
He said he did a tribute for the Hamlin guy.
No, he sucks. This proves my point. The Kirk Cousins will never win you a Super Bowl because he can't get the job done. It does when it's playoff or prime time, baby. So Vikings, do me a favor.
Yeah, it's 4th and 8. Let me throw a 3-yard pass.
Exactly.
So can we call Kirk Cousins? Can we call Aaron Rodgers Kirk Cousins too?
No.
No. Aaron Rodgers has got a ring. Okay. The only thing for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, I'm going to say this. You still got a good team for next year. You can still make it back to the playoffs because, but I don't know if you'll win the division because the Lions actually look better than you. Chicago's rebuilding and Green Bay is always going to be a threat because, the Packers. It's like with the Patriots. Well, there's always going to be that threat because of the fact of, Green Bay. They don't usually have multiple bad seasons. Usually.
You've never seen Jordan Love play, have you?
Now, I seen him in college. I put him as mediocre at best in college. But then we get to the Sunday night game, and oh boy, the Bengals beat the Ravens. But man, it was closer than I think everyone thought it was going to be. Ravens pretty much lost because of the fact of that fumble recovery, that was returned for a touchdown by the Bengals, which a great play there.
At the goal line.
At the goal line.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That pretty much won the Bengals the game.
Does the NFL not know what forward progress means anymore?
No, they don't. The refs are very selective with that forward progress crap.
Because I'm sorry. He was in a pile trying to stretch, but he had no forward progress.
I will say this, though. Ravens made history because they had more yardage in that game than Cincinnati. Usually you win the game if you have the most yards, but they did not. By the way, in case you did not know, and I'm going to just mention it now, Greg Roman is out as the Ravens offensive coordinator. That broke a few days ago. He is retiring. Well, leaving, so keep that in mind. So it will be interesting to see who calls for the Ravens offense next season. And we'll get to some other news as well that involves some NFL teams, but we'll worry about that in a little bit. But again, congratulations to Cincinnati. Now, of course, we get to the game I cannot really discuss. You know, it's my team, and that is the Cowboys and Bucks. I will say this. I had a plan before, Cowboys won. I was going to be an asshole and everything, but I think we can understand why I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I will say this. But there's one person I want to call out because I did not buy his apology on Tuesday. Stephen A. Smith.
The kicker? Oh.
On Monday, you pretty much looked at Dak's daddy and Ezekiel Elliott's father and said they were going to cost the Cowboys the game. Which Dak actually did not cost his team. He actually had 5 touchdowns, 4 passes, and 1 rushing. I know that because I looked up the stats. And you gave a hot bullshit apology. You didn't even mean it. So I'm sorry. I think you should be suspended or at least took off the air because I'm sorry. You pretty much made fun of their dads and yet you won't even man up and actually do a good acceptable apology. So Stephen A. Smith, go fuck yourself. I at least got to get that out of it. Now, Travis, Dave, and Ozzy, I don't know which one of you guys watched the Cowboys game, but tell me what happened, because I heard about the kick and I saw what happened there with the kicking highlights. I was shocked.
He basically missed the kicker. He basically missed the kick 4 times in a row.
Which apparently was a record for wild card games for kickers.
Yeah. And one of them, it looked like his kicking foot skipped the ground, so, I mean... I guess we still blame him for that one.
Yeah, in the last touchdown Tom Brady did, the Dallas let him make a touchdown.
Yeah.
They felt sorry. They're like, go ahead.
Brady played so bad, he should just retire. That's how bad he played.
Yeah.
Well, if that's his last game, I'm kind of happy.
There's so many memes about it.
I'm kind of happy it was a Cowboys still lost. Now, here's the thing I do want to point out, because this is what everyone said last week, so I'm just going to bring it up just to rub it in Corey, Travis, Dave, and Rosie's face here.
I think it's
almost all of you mentioned, Brady's never lost to the Cowboys. He's 7-0. All I got to say is I'm kind of happy the first loss he gets is in the playoffs. Now, with that being said, there is something I have to also discuss, and this is the people who, and Dave, you know who I'm going after because he's one of your buddies. I'm not going to mention his name because I'm not going to do that. But a lot of people saying, Dallas was going to win anyway. Tampa Bay was a bad playoff team. They had a losing record. Have we all forgotten when Seattle won a division with a losing record, they actually beat the Saints? Your record don't mean shit once you get to the playoffs. Is that when they had
Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah, the quake, the earthquake in Seattle. Because remember that shit off an earthquake thing. So I don't want people. I don't want anybody to say, Dallas beat a bad team. If you're in the playoffs, you did something right. Your record when you get to the playoffs doesn't mean anything. Because if it did, Seattle would have never beat New Orleans to begin with. So I just want to point that out there. Sometimes your record may not be great, but you can still win the playoff game because if you get hot at the right moment, like the Giants did, let's be honest, out of the teams left, they kind of have the worst record, but they got hot at the right moment and could still win this weekend, and I'll discuss that in a minute. But let's talk about some other things now that we've gone over the recap. And by the way, I'm 5-1 in the playoffs. Dave is 5-1 as well.
Yep.
Travis, what's your record?
4-2.
4-2.
Oh, damn.
And Rosie, what's your record?
I think I'm 4-2 also.
4-2 as well. All right. Well, here's some news you may need to know for this weekend. The Cowboys and Niners are set for their 9th meeting in the playoffs, tied for the most common playoff matchup in NFL history.
Have you seen tickets for the game?
That's the next thing. It is also the most expensive division game in history. If I had that kind of money, which I think is like the most expensive tickets, like $16,000, I could actually pay off all my bills and probably buy a house if I had that kind of money.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, shit. So I'm happy just to sit at home and watch the game, because everyone who's bought those tickets for that game are pretty much people who got a lot of money.
And drink for free.
And drink. Yeah. Drink well, I can't drink at my grandparents' house, but sadly. Also, the NFL
Oh,
did
I'll have a
announce.
drink for you then.
Lagging.
Have a drink for me, yeah, because I can't drink when I'm at my
Stop
grandparents'.
lagging.
I can drink when I'm not at home, but yeah. Now, of course, the NFL did
Well, that's
announce.
another reason why.
Up with the internet.
Well, we know why. The NFL did announce
Yep.
the
Oh
decided
my
teams
God.
for the international games next year. So here you go.
God.
Buffalo Bills have one game there. Their location is UK and London. Tennessee will
Stop
also have
lagging.
one. Kansas City and New England will be playing in Germany this year. We don't know their opponents yet. Same with the Titans and Bills. And the last one is Jacksonville as well. We don't know their opponents, and date will be announced at a later time. So keep your eyes open, because if you play one of those teams, you may be going to Europe for a game. Buccaneers fired offensive coordinator Brian Leftwich. I don't think that's a surprise there after what happened on Monday,
Nope.
if we're being honest. It's now, of course, we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers, because, well, this is from betting sites. Rodgers of Aaron Rodgers' next team. Right now, the number one team in the lead is the Raiders. Right now, which would be hilarious. Then it's the Jets, the Colts, which if he goes to the Colts, I think Mr. Jones will die of heart failure. And then it's the Titans
Probably.
and Carolina Panthers after that.
Did you hear what he said on Pat McAfee?
I did, and that's what I'm going to bring up now. So, first major question of the video tonight that does not involve picks. What do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to do? Is he going to stay in Green Bay, go somewhere else, or retire?
Do you want my honest opinion as a Packers fan?
Yes, I want you to go first, because you are the Packers fan here. I want you to go first on this.
I think he's going to stay because they owe him so much money.
Okay,
But
so
he's not going to do it until after like June, because after June we owe him more money. It goes from like 40 million to like 70 million if he waits till June.
but wouldn't that hurt the salary cap for the Packers to try to actually get him help?
But he did say he doesn't want to be on the team that doesn't rebuild and has no salary cap. Well, I hate to tell you, you're the reason why we have no fucking salary cap.
All right, so you think he stays because of the money. Dave, what about you?
I think he leaves.
Now, when he leaves, what do you mean? Goes to a new team or retires?
I think he goes to Jeopardy. He plays Jeopardy.
So you think he's going to
He
retire?
could.
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
As far as for me, I think I gotta be, since you said Travis said he would stay, Dave thinks he's gonna retire. I think he's still gonna play in the NFL, but I think he's not gonna be on the Packers. I think he's actually gonna go to a new team, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I think he's actually gonna go to the Raiders, because that's where his buddy is, who used to be with the Packers. That makes the most sense. If he goes there, you'll be able to keep your receiver there as well. And it would be very interesting. I know if Corey was in the comments, I would be asking him how would you feel about that, because I know Brady has also been mentioned.
So why can the Packers trade Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders? The Raiders get their car for Aaron Rodgers.
That would be
I
interesting.
mean, I guess they
if
could.
that
I guess it would technically wash out for all the money they owe each other.
happened.
It'll be even.
Now,
Yeah.
here's the next thing. Guess who's also technically a free agent this year as well? Tom Brady. There are talks that he would not be with the Bucks anymore.
He is. Yep.
Well, I don't know. I read it before. He bought a house. He bought a mansion in Miami, Florida.
There are talks that he would go to Miami. So, question: where do we see Tom Brady going? Retiring, Bucks, or a new team?
The Jets.
If that happens, I would die. I'm sure.
Damn.
Tom Brady to the Jets. Because me and Rosie know two people who love Tom Brady. I'm sure they would be so pissed if he went to the Jets. I think he's going to go to Miami. Nicer weather. Young talent. The team does look good. It's just the quarterback's the issue right now because we don't know the status of Tuaola. He could be done, like I said, because of his concussions. Travis, what about you?
He's going to play one more year and he's going back to New England.
Mac Jones, you're fucked.
You know
Yep.
what? You know what?
He's going to get his daddy back.
You know what? You know what? Fuck
He's gonna get his
it.
daddy
You know
back.
what? I'm making suggesting here. Okay. I say Tom Brady goes to his favorite NFL team when he was a kid, the 49ers. He backs up Purdy and wins Super Bowl and then retire.
But what are y'all gonna do with Trey Lance?
Trey Lance,
Trey Lance,
and Jimmy Garoppolo.
He did. He's thinking about leaving and go to Tennessee.
Oh, why the hell would you do that?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Because Tennessee got a new GM.
Yeah, but
got
Tennessee's
our-
only
yeah,
got King Henry. That's about it. And by the way, Tennessee's proving they're stupid because they traded AJ Brown. That was the biggest decision they ever
Yeah,
made.
look how that worked out.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just my projection, you know.
Fair enough.
You know what my projection is? Jimmy to Green Bay.
Yeah, that could have happened. That's the one thing I will say. You know, we're all hyped for the Super Bowl and who's going to make it. I'm ready to see what all these quarterbacks are going to do before the draft because you know there's going to be some trades for quarterbacks before the draft. So I'm going to keep an eye on that.
We're keeping Purdy. We're keeping Purdy.
If y'all don't keep Purdy, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep two of them. I'm going to get one. Also, a little bit more news and facts before we move on to the picks. The NFC East is the first division since '97 to have 3 teams make the divisional round. Kind of history there.
Yeah, it's 49. It's the Niners versus all of them.
Pretty much.
NFC East.
Chargers did fire offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi and quarterback coach Shane Day. That's the two I was mentioning. And that's pretty much it for NFL news I have, guys. So does anyone else have any NFL news before we get to the picks?
I didn't mean to bring on that stat about the Cowboys fan, but that shit pissed me off too.
That reminds me. Thank you for that. This goes to those Cowboy hosts right in Texas, you know, who are Cowboy fans. I am disgusted with what you guys said, wishing, we're hoping Christian McCaffrey gets injured so the Cowboys can win. I'm sorry. I wouldn't wish injury even if that would help me win because that's just wrong, okay? I'd rather beat the team when they're at their strongest and have everybody instead of, they're missing their quarterback, the best player or something. Because then to me, it doesn't really feel like you won. It'd be like if you played the Patriots and Tom Brady in his prime and you beat the Patriots but count that as a win? No.
No.
Because...
But yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
That shit pissed me off.
So fuck them on that one, those announcers. I would love for them to be fired.
Cowboys fan pissed me off.
I can understand why, I try to be as nice as I can with me being the Cowboys fan because I try to prove I'm above the norm. I'm not like all the other ones.
Yeah.
You've seen me this year. I've been honest with you guys, even though I pick them to win. I'm like, hey, you may not want to pick them, and here's the reasons why.
That is true.
I literally had a guy come into my store today that was a Cowboys fan, and I told him good luck, and he's like, oh, we don't need luck. You see what we did to Brady? And I'm like, do you not realize the 49ers defense is 10 times better?
Yeah, I got Cowboys fan. I sent a picture, they were like, oh, that's wrong. I was like, we beat Tom Brady. We beat him. I was like, but we beat him first, though.
Because here's the thing, we beat Tom Brady, but let's be honest, this ain't the Brady that Brady didn't have.
Like,
Dak did have a good game, but... Dak did play well. I got to give him that because I know that was pretty much the storyline going into that game that, Dak's going to be the reason Dallas loses. And it's kind of the reason we won with all his touchdowns he got. But be that as it may.
Yeah,
this is his best game all year.
That's
his best game all year,
That's going to have a time. We're not giving Dak time to throw the ball, though. We're going to go right at his ass,
Well, say that for the Niners game. We got to get to that. But one more thing. Andy Reid said when he found out he's going to have to play a game in Germany, he said he's going to have some bratwurst. So that means going to eat.
What is that?
It's sausage.
What is that, hamburger?
No, it's sausage and all that. Speaking of that,
He's not going to have a hamburger?
Not in Germany, apparently.
Oh, fat fuck.
Yeah. But let's get to those Chiefs because now it's time to make our picks for the divisional round. Of course, the first game, it is the Jaguars at the Chiefs, 4:30 on NBC tomorrow. Jaguars, like I said, coming off that big comeback win because the Chargers choked. Kansas City got the #1 seed, granted with an asterisk because we know the one game got canceled.
So Tony Romo commentary tomorrow?
No, it's on NBC. So we're probably going to get, Mr. You-know-who, Mr. wide receiver talking.
Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, a.k.a. Mute.
Now here's a guy.
Okay.
Here's a guy.
Yeah, here's a guy. Of course, like I said, Jaguars coming off that big comeback win over the Chargers, proving that they were the best Florida team as they were the only Florida team to advance. They're playing a Kansas City team who, like I said, #1 seed, got the bye. Granted, questioned with an asterisk because we know the Bengals game was canceled. So Chiefs kind of got it automatically just by, that cancellation. Now, Chiefs, remember, why Chiefs probably have the best offense of the teams left. They have the worst defense of the teams left because defense is so bad. That's why Mahomes has got to get a lot of points. Jacksonville has a good defense. The only question is, can the Jaguars match the points that Patrick Mahomes will get? That is the question here. So, with that being said...
And they need double team Travis Kelce. They need double team Travis Kelce.
That is also...
That's what he goes to. He always goes to him. They dumb. They always throw to him. There you go. He don't switch it up a bit,
But even when you double team Kelce, he still catches the fucking ball.
Yeah.
You need to triple team him, but that would leave somebody open. So, with that being said, who's going to win the first game of the divisional round this weekend? Will it be the Jaguars, proving that they are the Cinderella story that will continue? Or do the Chiefs stop the Cinderella story and say, not so fast? We got Mr. Patrick Kermit the Frog Holmes, who's going to go Austin 316 on your ass. Dave, you're first.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I want, in my heart, I want an upset. So I want Jags to beat the Chiefs because I like underdog stories, but
you want the chaos.
No, I don't see the Jaguar beating the Chiefs at home in Arrowhead. But in my heart, I hope they do. But I got the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, the Chiefs winning. All right. I should point out the Chiefs are favored to win by 9.5 points. Travis, what about you? Chiefs or Jags?
I'm going with the Chiefs. But I'm like Dave. I would love to see the Jags win.
Yeah.
All right, that's 2 for the Chiefs. I'm going for the Chiefs as well. Like I said, they got the best offense left out of the teams in the playoffs. So Jaguars defense is really going to have to stop Mahomes if they want any chance.
Plus, Doug Peterson playing his old coach too, and Andy Reid from the Eagles too.
That is correct. So that will be an interesting matchup there, coaching-wise. Now, Rosie, we're left with you. Are you joining us through with Kansas City? Or are you going to pick Jacksonville and the Kitty Kitties?
I guess I'm going to join y'all.
All right, so Rosie's joining all of us. So if the Chiefs lose, you can blame all 4 of us, everybody.
I mean, if the Jags win, I'll be happy too,
Yeah.
Well, if the Jags win, that makes the Bills-Cincinnati game even more interesting because then whoever wins that one will get home. We won't have to go to Atlanta or some bullshit. All right, up next, once I find them, it is a rematch of 2 teams have already faced each other earlier this year, which I believe the Eagles won both of those games. It is the Giants on the road against the Eagles. Now, here's the thing. Giants got that big win over the Vikings. Wasn't a lot of people, I think, saw the Vikings were going to lose that game, but I think a lot of people are still shocked because of how good Daniel Jones did. He actually had one of his best games, so it probably should guarantee him the job for next season, you would think. Giants offense, clicking a little bit. The defense, why not the best they are still kind of decent. Now, with the Eagles, while they've had that rest, here's the problem. Hurts is going to be playing with that hurt shoulder of his. See, I rhymed. So the Giants may target that shoulder a bit, maybe try to, I hate saying this, they may try to knock him out of the game, which would probably be a good thing if you're the Giants, because if he's knocked out or his shoulder gets too banged up and it's hard for him to throw, could cost the Eagles here. But the Eagles do have a lot more weapons offensively. I mean, they got A.J. Brown, who one of the best receivers in the league, as he pretty much has dominated this year, and it showed that Tennessee was stupid. But Barkley's been playing well. Jones has been playing well. Rookie head coach as well, who's done well this year. I think he might be one of the ones up for coach of the year. We shall see. But since this is also Rosie's big matchup, because she is a Giants fan, Rosie, are you taking your Giants again? Or are you going to just shock everyone and pick Philly?
I'm taking my Giants. Always a Giants fan. I will go with them.
All right. I should point out.
But even though they're gonna lose.
The Eagles are favored to win this one by 7.5 points, but it does depend on Hurts. Travis, what about you? Eagles or Giants?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles, but it's I think it's gonna be like a 3 or 6 point game.
I think it's gonna be close. All right. Dave,
Yep.
what about you?
You know, I see an upset here. I see the Giants beating the Eagles.
Oh, you're going. This is your upset pick.
Yep.
All right. Interesting.
They can all the Eagles, the Giants need to run Barkley through. You can't don't give it to Kenny Galloway. He sucks. He can't catch balls. Let's run.
Giants, I really do, because I think, that it's the time for an upset win here because the quarterback for the Eagles is going to be playing hurt.
Yo,
But I think because
Robin.
A.J. Brown is a beast, the Eagles' defense is way better. I got to go with the Eagles here as much as it pains me. I would love to pick the Giants, but I just can't do it. That gets us to the Sunday games, and of course the first one is on CBS on Sunday. It is a rematch kind of a rematch from a few weeks ago before the game was canceled. It is the Bengals on the road against the Browns. Now, of course, we were supposed to see this game a few weeks ago. I mean, Bills, sorry. The energy drink's kicking me. I'm drinking an energy drink to stay awake, okay? A nice Hawaiian shaved ice energy drink. So, sorry in advance. The Bills. Now, of course, we were supposed to see this game a few weeks ago on Monday night, but as we all know, that game was canceled due to what happened on the field. Now, this game's kind of interesting because of the fact of, depending what happens in the Chiefs-Jaguars game, if the Bills do win this, the game would not be played in Kansas City. It will be played on a neutral site since of what happened, on the Monday night game. Of course, I think whoever wins this one, I don't know if they can say they were the best team, because we never got to see that first matchup. So we will always wonder, would these two teams would have faced off at this point if the Bengals would have won or the Bills would have won that Monday night game. Because remember, that also affected the Baltimore game as well later that week. Bills are favored to win this one by 5.5 points. It was announced that the Bengals will be without two of their players on the offensive line. They are out injured, I believe. So keep that in mind. That offensive line for the Bengals has been an issue most of the last few years. But, and both teams, they won last week. It was kind of closer than I think anybody thought here. Of course, I'm going to go first too on this one. You know who I've been riding all this year for my Super Bowl prediction? I've had the Bills winning the Super Bowl this year because I had them last year. Almost made it. I think this year the Bills win this game, go to the AFC Championship, and then let's see what happens. Maybe they finally get back to the Super Bowl for the first time since the 90s. So give me Buffalo at home. Travis, you're next.
Everybody's has hyped up the Bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the Bills lose.
Oh, you're taking the Bengals.
This is my upset pick. I am taking the Bengals. I think if that game finished a couple weeks ago, the Bengals looked better the first half of that quarter. I think the Bills should have beaten the Dolphins way more than they should have. Bengals should win that game.
Okay, so right now we're 1-1. Rosie, what about you? Are you taking Buffalo or Cincinnati?
Buffalo all the way. New York, baby.
All right, and then Dave, what about you?
Who they? The Bengals. Upset Bengals.
Oh, wow. So here's the thing before we get to the last game of the playoffs. The only one we've all agreed on was the Chiefs game. The other ones we've all kind of split.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that gets us to the last game. It is the Cowboys taking on the 49ers. Of course, this is the ninth meeting between these two in the playoffs.
I think the best game of the division is gonna be the best. It's gonna be the good game out of all of them. It's gonna be the best game.
I do agree with that. Niners, of course, with their defense. Cowboys' defense ain't no slouch either. Both of them, I think, are in the top 5 defensively. I mean, defensively. Offensively, kind of a weird situation here because, Dak's played bad, most of the season after coming back from his injury, but he had his best game last week. Pollard's been playing well. There's actually been Cowboy fans saying that we should bench Zeke and not play him at all. I ain't going to go that far. I think you play Zeke because, Pollard, will be good on the first and second down. Use Zeke on the third down, because he is that workhorse at this point.
Niners haven't lost since October.
Niners have not lost since October. We got McCaffrey, which is dangerous. If I'm a Cowboys fan, which we know I am, if I'm the defense, I'd be wanting to make the Niners beat me through their quarterback because of the fact of, as we've seen, no one's really tried to get to the quarterback from the Niners. It seems like they're more worried about the passing, which you should be, but have him beat you because McCaffrey's going to get his yards, he's going to get his touchdowns.
Debo.
Winner of this game most likely will have to head to Philadelphia unless the Giants do get the upset. I will point this out. If the Giants do win, then this game on Sunday night means a whole lot more because if the Giants win, winner of Dallas and San Francisco will have the home game in the NFC title game. So this could be for the home field advantage.
Yeah.
Because Cowboys are the 5th seed, Giants are a 6th. So Giants cannot get a home game if they win next week. It would either be at Dallas or San Francisco if the Eagles lose. Which I think if you're Dallas and 49er fans, you want that to happen because Philly's going to be cold as shit. You do not want to play in Philly in the cold weather. Now, of course, we know who I'm taking here. We know I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm going to be picking them. I'm hoping they win. If they don't, I'm not going to be like everyone else. The Cowboys saying, "Oh, this was a bad year." This was a good year for us. We got a wild card spot. We won a wild card game. Maybe we can start changing things even if we lose. So we can actually be relevant again more often instead of just this weird. We'll have won a good 2 years and then we suck for a few years. We need to start changing that. Have a different philosophy. And I will say this. This is another thing I noticed. Everyone's been asking, fire the Cowboys head coach. He's got you a winning season again, because remember, I think he's only had, since he's been with Dallas, one losing season, and that's because Dak got injured the whole year with his ankle. 2, he hasn't, he's done a good job. He hasn't had that, losing season, or, one and, eliminated from the playoff wild card. Yes, I know everybody wants the Saints head coach to be us, but guess what? He's not going to be our coach. He's probably going to go to Houston, or he's going to go to Indianapolis. So just deal with that right now. But we know I'm taking the Cowboys here. Dave, you're the Niner fan, so talk about your Niners.
Our defense is good. The only thing I'm worried about is Micah Parsha. Other than that, it's in Diggs.
Well,
but
I would say,
fan, you all be like, "Oh, we can stop Debo." Well, we didn't have Chris McCaffrey, so that's the weakness right there. We didn't have last year. So
George Kittle's also the problem.
So, yeah.
But I will say this because you mentioned Michael Parsley. I would like to say congratulations to him for his the birth of a baby girl. He's got his first kid. Congratulations to him on that.
But it's gonna be good luck, Doug. Let the best team win, I guess.
May the best team win, and let's hope to God the refs don't do anything stupid to cause rage.
Yeah, and Dak, don't do nothing. Don't run and not time out. Don't run with 14-0 the game. Don't do that.
Yeah, let's not do that again either. Okay. I agree, because that hurt us last time. All right, now Travis, you hate both these teams equally for different reasons. Niners keep eliminating the Packers.
No. Dallas don't keep eliminating us. We eliminate Dallas.
I said
in the playoffs
49ers. I said 49ers keep eliminating the Packers.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's okay.
And of course, Cowboys. I know they get the hate because of the Cowboys. But who are you picking here? You going to ride with Dallas, or are you going to take San Francisco?
You know what? It's going to be a purdy day when the San Francisco Niners, that ass, and Mike McCarthy's going to get fired.
You think the Cowboys would fire their head coach?
Yes.
Wow.
So the question before we get would you keep Brett Maher, or would you bench the kicker, or would you bring in the backup kicker to start?
I wouldn't bench the kicker because here's the thing: there's always, he had a bad game. It's happened. Yes, even remember earlier this year we were shocked how bad that Justin Tucker played for Baltimore because he was missing kicks. So it does happen. Kickers have a bad game. I hope it's just that. The only thing that we didn't lose that game against Bucks because the offense played so great in that game. But I wouldn't bench him because it would be really weird to put the backup in, particularly if he doesn't have any playoff experience. It's a lot of pressure on a kicker who's never been there.
Yeah, that's true.
Because let's remember, this is the same NFL where fans actually, and I'm going for a story here. Remember when the Bills made it to the Super Bowl and they lost that first one to the Giants because the kicker missed it? There were so many people who sent him death threats and letters to say, go bleep yourself because you lost us the Super Bowl. That is one thing I will say that's maybe a problem with NFL fans. Not all of us, because us four, we're not batshit fucking crazy. But I'm going to say this. If you're going to blame a kicker or the quarterback, for losing the game, my thing's going to be this. Yes, I know I made fun of Kirk Cousins and all that, but it's for more humor than anything. He is actually a good quarterback. I will be nice to Kirk Cousins, okay? He is a good quarterback. I just like making fun of him, okay? It's easy. But I'm sick and tired of fans who say, oh, we lost the Super Bowl because, this player is the reason why. It does take a whole team to blow it. Look at the Chargers. It took the whole team to blow that. Okay? So can we just stop blaming players and realize sometimes the better team does win? Now, if you want to go out the refs and it's a...
on a straw.
Not me. If it's a legit referee, if a referee does screw up, fine. Go off on the rest. But don't send them threats either, okay? Just... Sometimes, yes, I know mistakes happen, all that. Just have some common sense, people, okay, when your team loses. Don't go off and say it's all because of this or this. Sometimes your team just loses because they suck that day. Period. Yes, this is a Cowboy fan saying that. I'm sure everyone's shocked, but hey, Dallas has lost some games this year because they sucked. Period. Same with the Niners. The games they lost, they probably didn't play their best. Same with the Giants and every other team this year who made the playoffs. They all had one bad game or played bad, and I'm sick and tired of fans wanting to say, oh, that's the reason we lost. Look at the bigger picture. Now, with that being said, there's my soapbox moment for the day. Rosie. Oh, Travis, you picked the Niners as well, so I got to write that down. So,
yes,
Rosie,
I did.
Here's the thing.
Niners.
Wow. I didn't even get to finish my statement. Wow. So here's the thing.
Well,
the last time,
win now,
if the Cowboys win, that's
now,
because all three of you picked the Niners. I will have the biggest smile on my face.
You know what, Doug? I'm going to say it now. If your Cowboys win Sunday, I will pick them in the NFC Championship game. No matter who they play.
Me too.
If the Cowboys do win, I'm not going to be an asshole because I'm sure there's going to be enough Cowboy fans like that. I'm just going to say, you know what, maybe my grandfather's spirit is helping them somehow, win these games, which I know that's probably morbid to say, but maybe that's why they...
Like I told you Wednesday, I could have picked the Cowboys, but against my team, so I can't go against my team.
I wouldn't expect you, Dave. I knew you were going to pick the Niners anyway, but I knew you that just like we knew how to pick in Dallas. Now, I will say this. It's the best game of the weekend, there's no doubt, because you're getting two historic franchises. You're getting two teams that have played well this year for the most part, that if things would have went differently, this could have been for the NFC Championship game if things, of course, gone differently.
So, question: Who would you rather be coached by, Kyle Shanahan or Mike McCarthy?
That's a tough one because McCarthy's got a Super Bowl ring, but Kyle Shanahan, he's he hasn't won a ring yet. He does have one thing that McCarthy has not been able to do. A lot of people from Shanahan's coaching tree, they're actually head coaches now somewhere else.
I was just bringing it up. I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to ask Doug that.
I think personally I'd probably go with Shanahan just because, hey, I know, even if I was an assistant coach, that I could probably become a head coach down the road because of the fact of it's a good learning tree. He doesn't have the, Bill Belichick curse where, almost everyone from his learning tree can't coach for shit. Well, except for Campbell right now. He's actually doing well. I got to give him props on that. But I would say Shanahan, because he's younger, he doesn't have the health issues. Plus, he does coach well. I think the only thing is, and this is just my opinion, I don't think he's ever gotten over that curse from Atlanta when they choked because, he was the offensive coordinator. I think that still haunts him. I think if he does win the Super Bowl, that will at least redeem him. Because he could probably use it because I know there's still a lot of people who blame him for the Atlanta Falcons' choking job. Which, if you want to blame anybody, blame the head coach of the team, not the assistant coach. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So that gives us for the picks this week. Now, of course, I should point out we do got an update for next week. Next Thursday, because we can't do it Friday, because Dave will be on an airplane to San Antonio because he will be watching the Royal Rumble on Saturday. So, first, next Thursday, you'll be there live. Next Thursday, we will be doing our AFC and NFC Championship pick. Next Thursday at about the same time, 8 o'clock. 2, not only will we be doing the AFC and NFC picks, we will also be picking for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Ooh.
So we're actually going to have our
Like
first.
that.
So we're going to have a Royal Rumble and our predictions for the AFC and NFC Championship game. I should point out as well, if you've not gone to the store yet, go pick up Mountain Dew Pitch Black because they are actually sponsoring a match at the Royal Rumble this year. The Pitch Black Mountain Dew match between Eli Drake. I'm not calling him by his WWE name because it's fucking stupid. Eli Drake, dummy, yeah, taking on Bray Wyatt in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, which we have. No, but we will be making our predictions. I'm probably going to be a little spiteful.
Yeah.
So you should just say acknowledge me when the 49ers win. Just saying.
Oh.
No, I'm not going to. No. Which gets me to one more thing before we go.
Damn it.
As you know, hey, if you want me to say that, someone needs to
I've
give me a
tried all year.
You want to hand me a PSN card first, and then I'll say that shit. Rosie gets me. Show me a PSN card first, and then I'll say that, okay? Now, if the Niners do win, I will be singing next week, and since they are from San Francisco, I figured it'd be appropriate to sing, well, a classic song. So it's not going to be an anime theme song like usual.
It's washed.
So if Niners win, I will have to sing the Hotel California. Which, God help me.
Hotel California.
So if that happens, you know. Now, of course, if anybody wants me to say that one word, that two-word phrase I refuse to say, somebody better give me a PSN code because I refuse to say it unless I get paid.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go to Cameo, Raven Reigns, and send a video to Doug say Doug, and I'm gonna acknowledge you. Watch you.
If Owen does that, I'd be like, kiss my ass. I would rather get it. I'd rather have Wade Barrett do it because me and him have the same last name.
Damn.
Have they leaked any surprise entries for the Royal Rumble yet?
No.
So
the Rock's not not gonna be there. He not in shape.
Yeah, he's not in shape. So most likely, and we'll probably bring it up next week because I talked about it Wednesday on Kingdom Hearts with Dave. I think they kind of ruined the Cody Rhodes one because they announced his. I think it would have been better off just having him show up because now everyone's expecting Cody to be.
But you know what? But you know what's sad about that though? I was reading reports on that. He's not making clear the wrestle yet.
Who?
Cody Rhodes. He's not making it clear.
Well, he's probably just going to ignore it and just enter it and win. Because I mean, I know they want Cody. They probably want. Because here's the plan. I think they want now, since Rock's not going to be at Mania most likely. They're probably going to have Cody win the Rumble and win the championship. Because remember, that's been his whole story. Like, I want to do what my dad couldn't do and win the heavyweight championship for WWE. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to have Cody be the one to dethrone Mr. Roman at Mania. Now, granted, if he doesn't win the Rumble, it'd be interesting.
Guess who's in San Antonio that day? Ric Flair.
Oh, God. If I hear Ric Flair's music at the Rumble, I'm turning it off.
He's going to win. Why? He's going to win.
I'm just going to shotgun a beer.
He's going to win.
Well, have a beer for me since I can't drink, you know.
I got you.
I miss alcohol.
I'm excited. I'm excited, but I'm nervous at planes. I don't like heights, so...
I would like some Captain Morgan. I would like some Fireball. I like some 1800 tequila.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Particularly if
but
Cowboys
hopefully,
lose on
good
Sunday.
luck. Well, good luck to your teams. Well, not Travis teams. Travis teams.
Hey.
Good luck to your teams.
Well, he can. Well, I think he's going to be. Well, for Travis, I think to say, hey, you know, look at some of these teams who may have some free agents next year. Hopefully, the Packers get them, and get ready for the draft because I know because that's where I think we'll find out what Rodgers does.
We can have DeAndre Hopkins, so we'll be okay.
Yeah.
You get Kyle Murray. You get Kyle Murray.
I don't want his short ass.
Lamar Jackson free agent too next year. Lamar Jackson.
That's going to be
Miami.
No. Remember, Baltimore can't franchise tag him.
I
don't know if they will or not, though. That is the question.
But then he can refuse to play, though.
Yeah, I know, which, unfortunately, we saw how well that worked out for Houston, so that's the other issue.
I mean, the Packers could trade for Russell Wilson.
No, I think if I'm Baltimore,
no.
You franchise tag him and then you trade him. That way you can at least get something instead of nothing.
What draft pick the Packers got?
15.
What draft?
15, so they're kind of in the middle.
You could get that guy from Tennessee, the hooker dude.
Well, that's the interesting thing with the
Volt.
Packers. We don't know what they're
they're
going to
not
do
going
in
to
the
go another
draft
quarterback.
because we don't know what Rodgers is doing. That's the biggest problem for the
They'll do
Packers.
something stupid. They'll get like an offensive line that we don't need.
Oh, a kicker. Because I'm sure he's going to retire too.
No, he said he wants to come back.
Okay, well, at least you have one. At least the kicker's good usually for Green Bay.
Well, he's old as shit, and
Yeah, he looks like Santa
can't
Claus.
kick it over 50 yards, but it's fine. He does.
Well, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good games this weekend. It's gonna be good, interesting games. So.
Yep, and I'm sure already. So if you're just joining us, remember to please make your picks in the comment section so you can figure out, so you can see who you're winning. By the way, those two players for the Bengals who are out is right guard Tampa and left tackle Williams. So keep that in mind. I wanted to mention that because I knew somebody was like, what were their names? And the Dolphins fired Boyer after 3 seasons as defensive coordinator. And the Vikings fired their defensive coordinator as well.
Shocker.
And lastly, this one's stupid. But we got to talk about the Commanders, and no, it's not about their stupid mascot.
What is it about this time?
Apparently, they will be the first NFL team to open up a sports book in their stadium.
The fuck?
In better words, you can go to their
So
game
they're trying to make.
bet.
So they're trying to make more money, so the stadium doesn't look so crappy.
Pretty much. But that's all the news and picks for tonight. Like I said, next week will be the AFC, NFC Championship picks and the Royal Rumble as well. After that, the next week following, we won't have a show because it would be the Pro Bowl, obviously. No one gives a fuck about the Pro Bowl.
Flag football.
Flag football, yeah.
Flag football.
So, the week of the Super Bowl, that will be when we're back for the show. We will be on that back to our normal time on Friday. We'll discuss how the teams got there, whoever they are, and make our picks. Now, before we go as well, one more announcement. As many of you know, a few years ago, I did do a live NFL draft thing because I was playing something else. So this year, we will be doing that again. I don't know how I'm going to do it because, I'm going to need to have something in the background while I watch the draft because I don't have a webcam. If somebody wants to send me a PlayStation 4 webcam, please go ahead. So you can see my face as we watch the NFL draft live when it happens. I will be watching the first one live on stream, giving you guys every pick who happens. Of course, if anybody wants to join me on that night, you are more than welcome to in the chat party at that point. I know Dave probably will join me, and Travis will be like, yeah, I want to see how bad Doug rages.
Yep.
I won't do the drinking game, though, because I know when we had the COVID thing, I did a drinking game out of it and ended up passing out drunk. Because they kept saying COVID. But that's the news you need to know now. So I would like to thank Dave, Travis, and Nosy for joining us in the picks tonight. Give me a few minutes, and I will be starting a brand new Let's Play. No, it is not Resident Evil. We're not going to... Code Veronica. We're not going to start that one yet. I'm pushing that to the back. And we're not doing the game where I read, about trying to see if I fuck Bigfoot or a Velociraptor. We're not doing Kingdom Hearts. And we're not doing Fatal Frame yet because I'm not in the mood for, any ghost shit because what happened Monday. But we will be playing something evil. And we're going to be seeing Will Smith in the Wild Wild West. That's your clue for what's coming up. But until then, give me a few minutes, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy the games this week. If your team's in it, good luck to them. And we will see you next Thursday night. Yeah, that's all. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you? Good night, folks.